Okay, so get this. We're talking AI and energy, but with a nuclear twist.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, you heard that right. Turns out all that amazing AI stuff, like making art and writing poems on
Right,
command,
right.
takes a ton of juice, way more than we thought. We're talking power plants running overtime just to keep those algorithms humming.
Yeah, the energy consumption is mind-boggling when you think about the scale these companies are operating on.
Exactly. And that's where things get interesting. So what's a tech giant to do when even renewable energy can't keep up? They go nuclear. I kid you not.
Wow. Okay, so we're talking fission, not fusion.
Fission, baby. The old school kind, but with a
Uh-huh.
new age spin. We dug up this wild story on Amazon of all companies dropping $500 million, that's right, with a B, into nuclear power for their data centers.
Data centers, so that's specifically for things like Amazon Web Services, right?
Yeah.
Not just Alexa deciding what ad to play next.
Bingo. Think cloud computing, AI development, the whole shebang. And it's not just happening in some remote desert either. We're talking Virginia and Washington State. The future is now. And it might just be radioactive.
All right, all right. Color me intrigued. What's the logic here? Why nuclear? I mean, it's not exactly the green energy darling everyone's been buzzing about.
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it? After decades of, let's say, mixed press, nuclear's back in vogue. And the answer, my friend, is simple. AI needs power, and lots of it. We're talking about training these massive language models, the brains behind all the generative AI magic, and those things are power-hungry beasts.
It's true. To give you a sense of the scale, training just one of these large language models can use as much electricity as 50,000 homes in a year. It's pretty wild.
So even you're speechless, and that's just one model. Multiply that by, well, Amazon being Amazon, and you've got yourself an energy crisis waiting to happen.
And that's where the irony kicks in, right? Tech, this world obsessed with the newest, shiniest gadget, is turned to a technology many see as, well, outdated, even dangerous, to fuel the future.
It's like Frankenstein using a lightning rod powered by a coal plant. Bit of a head-scratcher.
Right. But also kind of brilliant. If they can pull it off safely, it solves a huge problem, though the public perception hurdle is a big one.
Oh, for sure. People hear nuclear, and they immediately picture mushroom clouds and Chernobyl.
Understandably so, right? It's got some baggage.
Big time. But there's a new sheriff in town. Small modular reactors, or SMRs for those in the know. These things sound straight out of a sci-fi movie.
A bit, yeah. SMRs are basically mini reactors, think Legos, but for nuclear power plants.
Legos. Okay, now you've got my attention.
They're smaller, more compact, and way faster to deploy. Instead of spending years, even decades, building a giant reactor, you can build these SMRs in factories and ship them wherever you need them.
Like plug-and-play nuclear power. That's wild.
Exactly. And because they're standardized, you can test them more rigorously, potentially making them safer. Of course, it's still a relatively new technology, so there are unknowns, but the potential is huge, especially for something like a data center that needs reliable, always-on power.
Right. Okay, that makes sense. But where do these SMRs fit into Amazon's plans?
Well, remember we talked about them investing in Virginia? Turns out that's not a coincidence. Virginia is also where Amazon's pouring a boatload of cash into building. Wait for it.
Data centers.
Data centers. We're talking a $40 billion investment through 2040. That's not chump change. They're essentially creating a data center mecca on the East Coast.
So they're basically building a digital empire powered by mini nuclear reactors. Bold move, Amazon.
Right, they're betting big on this. And think about the implications for Virginia. This could turn them into a major hub for data and energy,
Yeah.
potentially giving them a lot of economic and political clout.
It's like a chain reaction, one decision setting off a cascade of consequences.
Mm.
Who knew AI could breathe new life into nuclear power?
It's a crazy world we live in. But this brings up a critical question. Can Amazon actually pull this off?
What do you mean?
Well, they've got the money, the technology is promising, but there's still the public perception issue. Convincing people that nuclear power, even these new, smaller reactors, are safe and necessary is a huge hurdle.
Yeah, that's true. Not to mention navigating the regulatory maze and potential environmental concerns. It's a long shot, for sure.
It is. But if anyone can do it, it's probably Amazon. They've disrupted industries before. Maybe nuclear is next.
It'll be fascinating to see how this all unfolds. Are we witnessing the start of a nuclear-powered AI revolution? Or will public pressure and logistical nightmares derail Amazon's ambitious plans? Only time will tell. One thing's for sure, though. This is one deep dive we'll be following closely.